everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we shall be talking about ISO 14001 Environmental Management System. What is ISO 14001? According to ISO, International Organization for Standardization, ISO 14001 is the internationally recognized standard for environmental management systems. It provides a framework for organizations to design and implement an EMS, that is environmental management system, and continually improve their environmental performance. By adhering to these standards, organizations can ensure that they are taking proactive measures to minimize their environmental footprints, comply with relevant legal requirements, and achieve their environmental objectives. The framework encompasses various aspects from resource usage and waste management to monitoring environmental performance and involving stakeholders in every part of the organization's environmental commitments. So this framework or these standards generally provides a framework for organizations to manage their environmental responsibility systematically. ISO 14001 also enables organizations to achieve their climate action or climate goals. It enables them achieve climate neutrality through carbon footprint and assessments and greenhouse gas emissions and mitigation measures which organizations have already set for themselves. It also allows organizations to become resilient and adaptive to climate change. What are the key components of ISO 14001? In order to understand these key components, we're going to use a case study of a company called GreenTech manufacturing. So the first key component is the context of organizations. Here, GreenTech manufacturing identifies its internal and external issues such as regulatory requirements, stakeholder expectations, and environmental impacts of its operations. The organization has to understand the internal and external factors that affects its ability to achieve its environmental objectives. The next key component is leadership. Within the leadership context, top management must demonstrate their commitment to the environmental management systems. Here, the green tech manufacturing company must identify the top management in this company must commit to its EMS by allocating resources or identifying areas that needs resources and allocating resources to these areas and defining roles and responsibility. In that way, there are accountability within this context of ensuring that the requirements of the EMS are met. And also, the management must be committed to the organization's environmental policy. The third one is planning. Within the planning context, GreenTech will have to conduct an environmental impact assessment to identify significant environmental aspects and legal requirements. They set measurable environmental objectives. They identify and address risks and opportunities and set these objectives and also plan actions to achieve them. Example could be reducing wastes by 20% in 2 years or cutting down employee travel emissions by 13% within the first year. But most importantly, they have to be realistic plans. Organizations committing to very cumbersome or lots of plans at the same time might it might result in them not meeting all the targets that they've set. So planning is important because it allows the identification of all those areas that poses risks and opportunity in the environmental objectives that any organization have set. The next key component is support. This is ensuring the organization ensuring that resources, the competence, the awareness, communications, and documented information are in place. Within this context, Green Tech ensures that employees are trained and aware of the environmental management systems. They establish communication channels for internal and external stakeholders and maintain documented information. There must be a feedback channel. There must be a way employees communicate their observations or ask their questions. There must be a communication point where their questions are answered, and in that way, employees are carried along through these processes or through achieving these requirements. The next key component is operations. This involves implementing processes to meet environmental objectives and manage environmental aspects. For GreenTech company, they will ensure the implementation of operational controls to manage significant environmental aspects. For example, when they introduce waste segregation and recycling programs, this allows them be in control and manage those hotspots that could impact their environmental objectives. Next is performance evaluation. GreenTech will have to monitor and measure its environmental performance through regular audits and review. In this way, they track key performance indicators like energy consumption and waste generation. And this means, in summary, monitoring, measuring, analyzing, and evaluating their environmental performance. The next is improvement, continuous improvement within the EMS requirements to enhance their environmental performance. Here, the company identifies opportunities for improvement through audits and management reviews. They also implement corrective actions to address non-conformities and continually enhance their environmental management systems. What are the benefits of ISO 14001? First, it enables an enhanced environmental performance. It allows for a systematic approach to managing environmental impacts. It also allows organizations to stay compliant. Most importantly, compliance is like the bottom part of the ladder when it comes to ensuring that you're keeping to what the regulators are saying. There must be measures that will be put in place in order not to get to the point where there is a default. So an EMS provides that requirements that allows organizations to stay compliant to the regulations. The third one is risk management. It allows organizations to identify and mitigate environmental risks. The fourth one is cost saving. Identifying these environmental risks allows organizations to understand what their hotspots are and enable actions that allow them to manage them appropriately, thereby reducing costs. This could be reducing wastes and improving resource efficiency. The fifth one is stakeholders' trust. Enabling an efficient environmental management system shows that the company or the organization are demonstrating their commitment to environmental responsibilities. In that way, the stakeholders are more happy or are happier with the organizations, and it also attracts investors. These days, investors are now more aligned to investing in organizations that are really committed to enabling a more sustainable approach to their operations. I hope you understand like what ISO 14001 is about, and please drop your comments or ask your questions in the comments section and I'll be here to answer. Thank you and join me in my next video. Bye for now.